Hello, and welcome to Journey to Easter. This is Thursday of the fourth week of Lent. Our gospel today, again, comes from the Gospel of John. I think the question that kind of comes out a little bit when we're reading this particular passage, is do we know the joy of the gospel? Do we really know the good news of Jesus Christ and the life of freedom that comes with that? Jesus' opponents, they refuse to accept his authority. They refused to really, look at him and say that the words he was speaking, the things that he was doing, that they were coming from God. They would always question him. In some way, they would challenge him all the time. And sometimes I think we're not a whole lot different. There's a lot of times when we might read that word of God, or we might read that story in the gospel, that parable, and we hear it, we listen to it, but we don't always act on it, and we don't always trust it. And Jesus is trying to convince not only those church authorities, but he's also trying to convince us, that he is not just this great teacher, but he is God. And we can trust his words, we can trust what he's saying, and we can trust that by following him, we will get to where we're going. We will get through that difficulty, that challenge. He invites us all the time just to trust him. It's just a common theme and all throughout the Gospels. It's just follow him and trust him. St. Augustine, in the 4th century, he writes, as Christians, our task is to make daily progress toward God. Our pilgrimage on earth is a school in which God is the only teacher, and it demands good students, not ones who play truant. In this school, we learn something every day. We learn something from the commandments, something from examples, something from sacraments. These things are remedies for our wounds and materials for study. We always say we need to listen to the Word of God. We need to listen to Him. But I think also we need to do a little bit more than listening. We need to trust that message. And we need to sometimes put a little bit more into it. And that is following the teachings of our church and the good news. It is following the commandments and making that a part of our everyday life. Because in the end, it's going to bring order to the chaos of our life. It's going to bring us to that point where God will take care of us. He feeds our soul with so much, but it really is up to us to take that next step. So today, the challenge is more than just listening. It's more than just listening. It's studying it. It's being a good student of it. It's following it. Just like St. Augustine says, remember this line, as Christians, our task is to make daily progress towards God. So I guess in our journey of Lent, our journey to Easter, are you moving towards God? Because in some sense, that's what this is all about. Have a great day and a great journey to Easter.